Hey everybody, this is Jim Dukes. I'm the Executive Director of Charlotte Art League, and with me tonight we have Josh Smalls. What's up, man?
What's up?
What's up? So we're doing a new thing for our virtual exhibits this month, which is the virtual exhibit is Just Words, and so where we've encouraged um, our artists to explore art through visual medium and through words, and we have had some sessions where we've talked about what's more impactful, a visual image or do words paint more pictures. And so we've got a really interesting mix in this exhibit, but we are proud to have you here tonight and to give us some of your beautiful spoken word. And just wish I could reach through the screen and hug your neck. So we're going to record this, post it up on the page. So if you could tell people don't know who you are, give us a little bit of your background.
Gotcha. Well, thanks for having me here. Thanks for everybody joining in and tuning in. If you see it after it's recorded, thank you for watching and sharing. Very important, that sharing part. My name is Josh Smalls. I'm known by Coach Josh Smalls. I am originally from New York City. I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina since 1997, long time, right? Mm-hmm. And I still don't believe it's been that long. I'm a creative writing coach, which means I teach people how to use creative writing as a form of healing. I teach them how to journal, how to write short stories, how to write poetry, or at least give them prompts to doing so. And I've learned that it actually helps them in the therapeutic way because they begin to reflect on the things that how they see life and how they make it through life. Mm-hmm. I am one half of Granny's Boys. I am the coach of Respect the Mic Poetry Slam team. And I'm part of the Ain't Right Tribe, which is another poetry group. I am also a member of the Guerrilla Poets. I am a 3-time published author. I'm on the schedule to release 3 more books this year.
Excellent.
And I think that's enough about my boring life. I don't know.
It's not boring. You travel all over the place. I tune into your live broadcast. You're in Atlanta. You're traveling all over the place making art.
I tell you, I went to Sacramento a few years ago, which we're gonna be traveling that way again too. And going to the West Coast is totally a different thing. The poetry scenes different there, and it really, I learned some stuff about my own writing being around other poets who don't necessarily write the way the poets are around this area. So it was really intriguing. It was really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we like. Diversity, right? Mm-hmm. Makes our craft better.
Yeah. I love it.
Well, good. So what are you going to be, you said you're going to be reading out of your new book.
Yeah, I'm going to read some pieces that I have in my Google Doc and from my book. I don't know how much time I have, but I'll read until whatever and whenever.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready to go, I'll shift into gear.
Okay, cool. Well, before we get into that, let's talk about what's happening in the end of the month. 28th, that's the last Sunday of the month. We're doing at Charlotte Art League a drive-in open mic night. Yep. So it's our first event, our first post-COVID event, kind of keeping everybody safe, but people don't know about our setup at Charlotte Art League. We have this big old parking lot with these loading dock doors, and so it's 4 to 6, and drive up, and we'll get set up in these loading docks that are elevated above the parking lot, and so we'll have an open mic of spoken word, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's kind of going to be like a already who's already in kind of open mic, because it's not going to be a lot of open micers able to come to and get on the mic. So we'll make sure we let people know that. I don't want people jumping out of their car saying, "Hey, I want to get on the mic list."
Yeah.
We can't do that yet, not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We got things we got to keep clean.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. All right. Well, that's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward
Very,
to it.
very. I can't wait. I can't wait.
All right. Well, we're ready to go. Let's hear it.
All righty. So, I don't know if I mentioned I'm the oldest of 8 children, and my mom has been a single parent most of my life, and she's always been my biggest hero.
Mhm.
So I'm going to do a poem that I dedicated to her. One of the poems I've dedicated to her, and yeah, we see. Hopefully, you all enjoy it.
Okay.
And God so loved the world that He gave us the Black woman. She's draped in a complexion that makes him smile even through our disobedience. It makes the sky surrender to every single whisper she lays upon this earth. I said, God so loved this world that he gave us his angel. And he gave us natural healers in this idea of a warrior princess. They call her queen and goddess, but she is most worthy of mother and grandmother. He even gave us aunties, sisters, daughters, nieces, and cousins. I said, God so loved this world that he gave us a protector. The most beautiful lover you've ever seen from clay. He built a sculpture that men ravish over. He built an image where dictionaries should only show a picture because mere words could never mirror the fancy he made her to be. I said, God so loved this world. I bet he cried when he first saw her. When her image transformed from idea to unrealistic. And he made picture perfect shoulders and long eyelashes. God so loved this world. He gave her wings that we couldn't see. And we watched her fly through tragedy after tragedy after tragedy and still never been to a point of no return. Even when no return painted a roadmap for her, she found in her own self the most beautiful thing we could not fathom. She found God lives inside of her and inside that mirror. So when I say God so loved the world, he let there be light within her. And it only was so we could see a clearer picture of what perfectness looks like. It was only for us to get a better view of what he could not say. Because God so loved this world that he gave heaven a voice and gave it limbs to balance unforeseen things and God-forsaken events that man cannot explain. And whether she's angered or happy, you see her coming. You know she's coming, and her rhythm might sound like jazz, blues, hip hop, or R&B, but she can still R&B lullaby you to a state of waking the dead, to the rising of a sun. God so loved this world. He bent himself into a blissful image, and he made paradise something we could hold on to. He gave footprints to nirvana, gave his holy kingdom a heartbeat and a beautiful smile with loving arms that stretch past imagination. Wow, God so loved this world. And with him, with her, we can see him. We can see promise. Footsteps like crashing waves to deafen the ears, your laughs are like the sun heating the land after a dead winter. I said, God so loved this world that he gave us magic. And it lives inside of every woman I've known, every woman I see. God so loved this world that he gave us mothers. And he gave us my mother. And he gave us a beautiful Black woman. And
Dang.
that's that piece. That is from my mom. I don't do anything without recognizing my mom. In fact, my first book that I published has her picture on it, and I don't have one in the room with me, but I'll show it to you another time.
So what was her reaction when you read that to her first time?
So that is one that I have not read to her yet.
What?
She hadn't gotten that one yet. Because my brother and I are working on a project, and the delivery for that, she'll get that one on Father's Day. So she hadn't gotten that one yet. Yeah. So, but my mom, she's like my biggest fan. Yeah. So she's but she's always gonna cry and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
God, I know.
Yeah.
Made me want to cry,
Oh man, that's a beautiful thing, right?
right?
That's the thing about art. It takes you to a place.
Hmm.
Takes you to a place.
Yeah, you're
Um,
right. Mom's our son's biggest fan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My mother told me that I was perfect when I was born, and I don't know what perfect is, but to her, I was perfect, and that's like the most beautiful um, compliment you can give someone. You know.
Yeah.
Um, the next poem I'm going to do doesn't have a title. This poem was something that I wrote on, something that I completed on one of the darkest days of my life. I think we're in a free space where I can say this. I was at the point of no return. I didn't want to see the next day. And I wrote this poem, and it was supposed to be a poem that I was going to present for a competition. And I actually left my bad state of mind to go finish this poem, and it made me not return to the mindset that I was in prior to this poem. So I hadn't even published. I didn't even send it in because it meant more to me than a competition. So I'm going to read that poem. And the birds, and of the birds in the sky, drunken by the secrets of the day, floating to a measure of harmony and falling feathers, swimming in an oasis of a Carolina blue mystery. And the air, finding a home on my brown skin, making a moment seemingly like a vacation and still be unafraid to take a headfirst dive into the busy of this city life. And the memories, those lasting decades of questions, both answered and unanswered without common folks. An ode to the commoners, those of better days when when greats fought against atrocities like Jim Crow and servitude, and of the secrets, the ones that have yet to find an ear, the ones that weather all four seasons, even when it happens throughout a 1 week fiasco. And to the writers and the scores of pens, when the ink becomes more than a storyteller, when it rewrites foreign language into government that says, yes, we waver, even as the ink has yet to dry. And to the veterans and the homeless and the street dwellers, those who have but a lonely place in the heart of uptown in Charlotte, where the woman finds her resting place in the very same bench every night, and the man, the one who fought for his tent until it cost him everything, the man whose smile led to his poem lining his obituary. And oh, Charlotte, home of the bankers, home of the hustling migrants who have now taken over your streets, now too busy for a good morning. Your faces unfamiliar and brand new, most carrying lingos that says, I am not from these parts. An ode to the city, still unable to grow past the Carolina blue of the day, yet large enough to cover the stories that tell us of our fanciness. Ode to Charlotte. And that's that piece. Yeah. I'll just make mention there's a lady who sits on a bench in front of the Wells Fargo Bank on Trade Street. I think it's Trade and Third.
Mm-hmm.
She's always there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another guy, Scott. Scott was actually killed. He slept in a tent. He was fighting over his tent, and someone actually killed him. And he was in obituary in the Charlotte newspaper that we read. It was, yeah. So what I'm saying about that poem was about everything but me. You know what I mean? And that poem was enough to tell me that I could keep on fighting. So that's why that poem had really resonated with me like that. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Did that poem make you feel like you didn't have it as bad as you thought?
That poem actually brings me to an emotional state every time. And it's because of that, you know, we think that it's the worst until we just simply walk outside,
Mm-hmm.
you know, walk outside. And then you're like, you know what? It is not what we thought it was. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
It really isn't. So yeah, that was that poem.
Love it. Love it. I like the introspection, and we're glad you're here.
I am too. Thank you. Thank you. I'm also glad that I'm here. It's hard. I'm struggling now with a friend of mine who's been hospitalized for some. Um, he has some mental instabilities that he's working on, and yeah. So I'm going to give you the privilege of picking a number between 1 and 89, and I'm going to read from my book to my daughter, whichever number you pick.
Well, how about 68?
68. Let's find 68. Okay. All right. So 68 is a short one too. So I'll let you pick another one. So think about another one.
All right.
I guess vulnerability was uneasy for you just as it has been for me. But at 13, you still made conjuring a normal thing. At 13, you turned confusion into energy, and I never knew how. But I've always known your love for helping others and how it turned your sad face into a morning dew. And its energy turned frowns into happy days and good mornings, tight hugs and never-ending good nights, and all those quick flights to the kitchen for sweet snacks and your favorite beverage. I now know why your teardrops melt so fast. I've watched how the sweetness fell victim to the night air. I've watched them leave salted love lines down your cheeks when you didn't want me to leave. I gave up so much to make sure you never spill those parts of yourself again. And I promise I will do it all 1,000,000 times over, just to see you smile again. That was 68.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you know, to reread things that you've already done, it just brings back so much. All right, get another number because nobody's unless somebody else wants to give a number, but we'll let you give another number.
See if anybody chimes in.
Yeah, see if somebody chimes and we'll read another number. I love reading from this book, by the way, because it means so much to me. You know the base. You know why I wrote this book, right?
Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody.
Yeah, so the title of this book is 101 Love Notes. And my now 19-year-old daughter went through a very, very challenging time with depression last year. Mm-hmm. And the only thing I could think of was to do what I can do. And that was write her notes and poems every day and sometimes several times throughout the day. And she said, Dad, we should put that in a book. And here we are. This is actually my copy, which is a bigger copy because this is actually 6.5.
Yeah,
really big.
That one.
Yeah. So this is the one I keep. When I read from it, it's more comfortable because the other one is small. But yeah, when I read it from out loud. So yeah. So we have people here, but I don't think anyone wants to pick a number.
Carol, you want to pick a number?
Oh, wait. Somebody put something in the chat. Somebody said 45. Nisha Strain, I think, says 45. So let's do 45. I think that's Nisha Strain. That's awesome. Thank you for that. 45. Okay. Let's read 45. And if I cry, it's all your fault, okay? Just want you to know that. If my eyes never touch a beautiful thing ever again, I could stand firmly in the space where I'm happy to say that I've witnessed you and your beautiful eyes, the ones that have spoken to me since the moment life existed from utero. I can honestly say watching the tender place where you mature into an infantile, wondrous stretch itself against past unbelievable, just so that we can meet in you for the very first time. It was like playing my favorite song, the one that I've yet to hear until this day. And there you were, of the same flesh as I, God's amazing hands passing the torch over to the man he knew I could be. And willingly I became your holy. Everything was perfect then, and it still is, like a bed of roses, its fragrance tantalizing itself into the most delightful fragrance, like the blues of a new morning, and the sweet dew blessing the earth's new coming freshness. It is that kind of spell you bring, and it has always been such. And to you, I am grateful. Ah, that was my baby. Yeah. I love this book. Somebody said, it's time, please read 54. If time, please read 54. Do we still have time?
Yes, we got time.
Oh, we got time. Okay, I'll read 54. This is for Carol Green. She asked for 54. So I'm choking up a bit, so don't mind me if I stumble on my words. It's just, this book is just so emotional for me. And 54 is a very short one. She says she loved it, powerful words. Where can I get the book? You could send me a message, or you can get it from me personally, and I could send it to you, or you can get it from Amazon. Just let me know, and we can definitely make that happen. 54, special delivery with a singing voice like mine. I have no choice but to hum. In fact, I can hardly whistle a tune, but for you, the one and only daughter I've given life to, I would sing out loud, scream a song for the world to hear. And if it pleases you, I will repeat your name or favorite phrase until it pleases you, for you are worthy. That was the
I love it.
Yeah, that little girl, she does something to me, I'm telling you. She's just, yeah, so. Am I taking up too much time, or what? What are we doing?
No, let's do one more.
Okay, we'll do one more. So someone gets to pick one more if you do. And if not, I'll read the opening one. If they don't pick one, the opening. So, you write your forwards. And this one, somebody said 34. Okay, we'll do
34.
Awesome. Y'all gonna make me cry in here, and I'm trying not to. 33 is 34. This is 34. Love note 34. And there you were, like a halo atop the crowning of a saint, glowing in a light that only the Lord himself could create. And I am not comparing my name to a saint, but I know what that feels like to know a thing greater than I exists. And to know it rattles because one day my affections made me a messenger, made me a magician. And to know that no one could have done the very thing that I did on that very day. And even if they did, they could not have made the heavens open as such. And it makes me think that maybe this was my only miracle, to be there just as a passenger on a ride, but to play the role of a main character until the moonlight fought the right whispers and the love notes to make this new magic happen. And there you were, the princess who loved milk like breathing, to shatter the lives of everyone who has witnessed your glory at some point, and again to you, and again to see you appear from a womb, and now have your own love nest, worthy of creating the same kind of magic, and to know that somehow I played the same rhythm, to know that I am part of a classic, and now I too can be known for creating greatness, for being a major part of you from the beginning, before anything in life mattered, before big things like warming bottles Burping babies made two worlds collide, and music shifted from reckless to love, and then to ratchet, even without my permission. Yet I still will stumble any distance to make sure that the waters stop and flow in accordance to what makes this day great or better, and still know that you and I will always be attached and bonded by a day when affections became love, and love became you.
There you go.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Mm. Yeah. I love that little girl. I love that little girl. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
amazing how we get bonded to our kids. And it's unfortunate. Some parents waste
I think,
that time
yeah,
with frustration and angst and anger. And I mean, kids are pain in the ass sometimes. True. But
they are a
overall,
lot of time.
It's a miracle that we create.
And I said in that poem that um, a whisper became affections, affections became magic, and we became a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Every birth is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Every father and mother that unite and bring forth life is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in there, whatever higher power you believe in played a role in that miracle.
Mm-hmm.
And I think life doesn't always give us that understanding of what that miracle is and how powerful it is.
Right.
And a lot, I grew up without my dad, so to know that there's a love between a child and a parent
Mm-hmm.
always ends with the mom. Always ends with the mom. Doesn't always have the father in there, but the father had to be there at some point, right?
Right.
And I think that's what allowed me to give her those things, because I would have loved to have my dad say, "Hey, son," So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. You're breaking the cycle.
breaking the cycle. Yeah. Carol, thank you so much. She's warming my heart with her comments in here. Thank you so much. And like I said, if anyone wants the book, just I can give you my email or whatever, and I'll put it in there. You can email me afterwards, and we could I can make it happen for you. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank y'all so much. This is healing for me. So
Good.
yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, my friend.
It's always good to see you, man. I can't wait to actually get to physically see you and wrap my arms around you, man, and just embrace you. I miss my brother.
I know. I miss you too. Well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And everybody else, appreciate y'all tuning in and spending time with us. Enjoy the exhibit. Enjoy the words that are there, and enjoy Josh's words, and check him out live when and wherever you can. Find him on social media, listen to his live broadcasts, and we appreciate y'all's support of the arts.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Thank y'all.